Hello, 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 and welcome to the CUP Ringside, where we give you the best seat in the house on all things WWE, on most things wrestling, and part of the CUP Network. Because here we are. I am your girl Lana, your resident evil diva, here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea purr. And if you have some tea, you know what to do. Hit me up. I'm not drinking anything because right before I was doing another podcast, and then right before that I had dinner, so I wasn't thirsty, so I didn't grab anything to drink. So that's fine. But just in case I do get thirsty, I always keep my handy dandy cup mug. What?
She has
I'm
returned from her
shut up.
patience holding pins.
I
She has
have not
returned.
been I have not been able to do this for this podcast, but panel
And
full
a
of
full of
cup
cup
mugs,
mugs.
panel full of cup mugs. Beer, 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 beer. I love that. We got our panel full of cup mugs in the building.
I will
Yeah.
say, I just bought a set of strip lights. They will be going around my living room, and if this does happen again, I will be joining you in the festivities.
We
Um,
we love a party. We love a party.
exactly. Speaking of parties, hi everybody, it's Brooke, your non-binary royalty of the cup, as of reigning defending from King and Queen of the Ring, and that will continue to be my tag until next year. Deal with it. So hey, if the fans don't like it, they should come on and make predictions themselves. That's all I have to say. But um, we have a lot going on in wrestling this week, a lot more than maybe it looked like on the surface, because especially today, because things happen today. Um, but yeah.
Yeah, we'll get into it. Oh, and by the way, we do ship domestically and internationally, so there are really no excuses why you couldn't get your cup merch. Period.
Shop at
Uh,
laundrycreations.etsy.com.
absolutely. That link
Link in
will
the
be in the
description down
description
below.
below. Absolutely.
So,
But we are before we get into anything, because a lot, like Brooke said, a lot has happened in WWE and in wrestling in general. So a lot is going on. So we go talk about it all. But before we do, y'all know what to do. Hit the subscription button, hit the follow, subscribe, notification bell so you will be sure that you have all the information that you need to join us every week because we're gonna come out giving you every week in wrestling we talk about something, what's going on, and we are part of a Cup Network, so we have 3 other channels that we would love for you to follow as well. All of those links will be in the description below in our link tree. Click that, click the YouTube links, follow, subscribe, do all the things there. Also, our audio podcast links are in that same link tree below, and our Patreon. So you can get early access to some shows that we do and some exclusive content across from shows all across the network. So join for that. Now, we got some news, Brooke.
yeah, I mean, normally we start out with like some random fluff piece of news, but honestly, we got to talk about all the contract changes that have happened in the past like three
Mm-hmm.
days
Mm-hmm.
because we just went from a lot of changes have happened. Do we want to start with the good, the bad, or the hopeful?
I want to start with the good, and then we'll go
Okay,
from the good to bad, then the hopeful.
let's start with the good. Asuka has re-signed with the WWE. Thank God, I could
Ooh,
not afford to lose her. Not only is she resigned, it's apparently a long-term deal. Oscar really said it's not only the men who can wrestle until they're 50, but that's my
period.
lady. I'm
Okay.
happy she's sticking around. I miss her dearly. Please come back soon. I know you're injured, but please come back soon when you're healthy, but
When you're
soon.
healthy. Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, especially considering like Sky Pirates are now feuding for the women's tag belts, and Asuka can only make things better. So awesome for that. Okay, so bad or hopeful next? What are you thinking?
The bad. We got to go to the bad because I want to end with
Okay,
hope.
we're gonna have to do a little bit of a preemptive warning here.
Yeah,
One, this may
trigger
be
warning.
trigger warning, but also two, this is all alleged.
It says
Okay,
so right there.
just this especially. This is
This says so
especially
right
alleged
there.
information.
Everything
Correct.
is alleged information. Everything.
But this is especially alleged. So Odyssey Jones has been released from the WWE. If you would have said that like a month and a half ago, I don't think anybody would have even noticed. But he just been on Raw for a little bit with New Day, had all that going on. He wasn't on Raw last week, didn't get mentioned at all. Nobody really batted an eye though, because like, maybe he's not here this week, whatever, right? We find out yesterday his profile was taken off of the WWE roster on the website. Now, there have been plenty of glitches on that thing before, so nobody really is a little bit of a thing, but nobody really cared until we find out, oh, he wasn't at Raw yesterday. And Fightful, I believe, are the people that broke it, that he has been not released, he has been
Hired.
fired from WWE due to domestic violence allegations. Um, all I'm going to say is this, because one, we are not a court, we are not a jury. No charges as of recording have been filed. Here's what I'm going to say to this. If you did that, fuck you. If you did not do that, I'm assuming we'll see you back shortly. But if you did that, go fuck yourself. I'm happy you're gone. Thank you.
Absolutely. Because if you did, there's no place here in our hearts and minds for anybody who decides that they want to assert their strength over another person who is, yeah, domestic violence is disgusting, disgusting. And if you did it, bye, Felicia.
I mean,
And
especially coming back off the back of this whole Artem Nikki Bella situation.
right.
Like, man, I don't know what it is with men thinking they have the ability to just go beat up on women, but like, all I'm gonna say is this: you don't. You go into jail, and you deserve to go to jail. You dick. Um, yeah, I'm triggered. I apologize.
It's very triggering. It's very triggering.
Yeah.
But let's get to the hopeful
The
because
hopeful.
he does
Okay.
not deserve that much time.
Correct. So, Giselle Shaw, who has been a long-term staple of the Knockouts division of TNA, been there for about 6-7 years, uh, has been released. However, she did request her release. If you know of Giselle Shaw, Lana, I'm assuming you probably don't.
I've heard of her.
Yeah, Giselle. Well, I was about to say, if you know of her, it was probably after the whole Rick Steiner situation that happened
Mm-hmm.
at WrestleCon. Um, I am a huge fan of Giselle Shaw. She is, to my knowledge, I could be completely wrong about this, the first transgender performer to work for a major wrestling company in the U.S. Her and Nyla Rose started working for AEW around the same time, so it's about 50-50 on that. Um, Giselle had a lot of really good chances to be Knockouts champion. She never quite won the belt. I thought she was going to get it a few years ago, but she never did get it. Um, However, if the rumors are to be believed, she requested this release for a good reason. So hopefully, we will be seeing Giselle on either the Fed screens, AEW. There's rumors that she might be going to Maple Leaf Grappling or whatever, Maple Leaf Wrestling, I think, in Canada to help get that started, and then go sign somewhere else once it's up and running. Because she is good friends with Scott D'Amore, the guy who is running that, former president of TNA. So we'll see what Giselle goes. I am really hopeful for her as a performer. She is so underrated, great in the ring. Um, and I think no matter where she goes, she's going to shine and be the champion she deserves to be. So thank you, big fan. We should interview you for the podcast at some point because I love you.
Great. One more I guess contract that we didn't put in the thing, but Victoria has gotten,
I forgot. How did I
I don't know
forget
how
that
you
woman?
forgot that. I don't even understand how you forgot that. But Miss Victoria has signed a Legends contract with the WWE. And I'm like, absolutely deserved, deserved, deserved. So we
She's
might
going in
get,
the Hall of Fame,
well, she's going in the Hall of Fame. We might see her on TV some points. I'm excited for her. Her merch is gonna sell. We love
baby.
that for Victoria. I'm very happy for her.
You know she wasn't the only one who signed that deal, though, right?
Oh,
Allegedly, another legendary woman from WWE's past has also signed a Legends deal. They are now called nostalgic contracts. Just call them
nostalgic
Legends
contracts,
deals.
but
Just call them Legends deals. That's a better name.
yes, I like
Uh,
Legends deal.
but Melina has also signed one of
Word.
these contracts. Um, Give me Melina and Victoria in the next
And
2K
Royal
game.
Rumble. I would
Rumble
love to.
too.
I would love
Rumble
to see them in the
too.
Rumble. An Evolution Part 2. I would love to see them.
I need to see Victoria and Molly Holly in the same Royal Rumble
Yep.
at the same time. That
Yep.
is all I want in my soul. It is one of my favorite feuds in the history of pro wrestling, and I love them both. They are my faves. They are my ladies, and I need to see them fight at the Royal Rumble. Please, thanks, thank you. Um, so yeah, that's those are some contract stuff. I mean, of course, there's probably other things we don't know about. All we know is the public information about contracts. But interesting week for contracts. I'm mostly pleased.
Mhm. Mhm.
Obviously,
Mhm.
there is one thing that I am not even remotely pleased about, but everything else pleased.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, speaking of pleased, Lana, you got a good episode of SmackDown this week.
Really, really did.
Yeah.
Really, really did. It was in Berlin, of course, because there was no way they can make it from your states over to Berlin in that less
Hmm.
little bit of time. So we did get SmackDown in Berlin, and we got a pretty good show. The lineup, we had a face to face with Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes right before. We had LA Knight doing an open challenge for the US title. Great. Mia Yim versus Nia Jax, and Angel and Berto versus Apollo Cruz and Baron Corbin.
Can we quick
And
shout out to Angel and Berto,
mhm.
finally in the trunks that God intended them to be in.
Not that.
Hey, I am nothing but not consistent. Humberto Carrillo is one of the hottest men in this company.
Oh
Okay.
my
Whew,
gosh.
he hot. Angel, you're hot too. You're hot too. Berto, whew, whew.
My God, today,
We all
Brooke.
we all have our people,
We
okay?
do, we
We all
do,
have our
and I'm
people.
I'm with you. Okay, I feel you. I respect that. But we start the show off with LA Knight coming to the ring. Huge ovation from the Berlin crowd. They're very excited. Um, and he was about to say something, but somebody interrupted. Ludwig Kaiser, which home person definitely. And you know what? I'm gonna say this.
Mhm.
I really like Ludwig Kaiser. I
That is a
really,
good fucking take.
I
I wholly
really
agree.
like Ludwig Kaiser. I like the gimmick that he has. I like how he is, presenting himself and doing. I like this role. I like how he does this. I usually, and
Hmm.
this is jumping into Saturday, but usually I get very annoyed when someone interrupts the greatest ring announcer of all time, Samantha Irvin. Shout out to
Hmm.
you, Samantha, because I'm always give you your props.
As
But
you
I
should.
didn't mind it when Ludwig did it to announce Gunter because I was like, this makes sense for him to do
Mhm.
this in front of this crowd with this man, and it made sense. And I loved it. I like him. I like the way I like his style. I'll say that. And I like the way he wrestles.
Mm. I honestly thought for a little bit when the whole Imperium breakup thing happened,
Mhm.
or trying to say the exiling of Giovanni Vinci.
Right.
Um, I was worried that Kaiser was just gonna go back to being Gunther's lackey,
Yeah.
in the sense of like he was gonna be the guy that got the crap beat out of him while Gunther just kept on winning matches, which is what happened at the beginning of the IC title reign when Gunther became champ. Um, that has not happened at all. Kaiser's win loss record is not great, but other
Right.
than that, like his actual matches have been insane. He has a win on Sheamus, which
Yes.
is still a big deal, even if Sheamus hasn't been winning a lot lately. Um, I am just really excited to see wherever Ludwig Kaiser goes. I wanted him to win the Intercontinental title. I thought that would
Mm.
have been real nice because then you get that whole moment of Gunther being the world champ and Kaiser having the belt that
Mhm.
Gunther lost, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like it's really cool. But this man has quickly become one of my favorite parts of programming, and it
Yeah.
and it didn't happen overnight. It
No.
happened
Very
gradually.
subtly.
Um,
Very subtly.
and I think what sold it for me was this Saturday when
Yeah.
And the thing is, he didn't walk out with Gunther either. He was
No,
just down there, and then off screen you just see
this
reach out,
hand come
the
in.
hand come
Like,
out, like
I was like, yes, I loved it. I think I really do am starting to enjoy Ludwig a lot more. But he challenges Knight for the US title. The crowd is so over for him, as they should be.
his home
Hometown
country.
hero, he
Yeah,
should be.
hmm
And it was a solid match. It was good. It was a good match. I felt like it was just a little bit like it was a good back and forth, but not anything too super exciting, but it was a good match.
hmm
We knew that there was no way LA Knight was losing his belt. Come on. It's just not
But,
happening. But
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 you never know.
no.
So
No.
I'm here for it. I'm here for this.
I would love for us to believe that titles could change hands like that on like a regular SmackDown or regular Raw every now and again.
hmm
But we rarely see that anymore these days. And I think we need to normalize that happening more often so we could, it could happen. But
Outside of Becky Lynch winning the women's world title on Raw, right? Which that
mhm,
happened out of necessity, not out of want.
right.
When was the last time a belt changed on regular program?
It's
It's
been
been a
a
minute.
minute.
It's
It's
been a
been a
minute.
minute. That's what I'm saying. We have not. We've, as WWE fans, we have gotten to the point where we don't expect titles to change hands on the shows. So
I'm
I,
gonna
I, I did.
look.
It didn't happen. But Knight ended up winning. Um, the crowd definitely still loved LA Knight, but they definitely was feeling Kaiser as well. So all around, the atmosphere made this a really good match. I think the atmosphere really, really helped this match.
It was when Finn and JD won the tag belts. That was the last time because they beat
Mm,
Awesome Truth on TV. But like even then, they
uh,
haven't done dick with them. So I mean, whatever,
but
whatever,
right.
whatever. Yeah.
Um, Kaiser is actually going on social media telling them that they need to bring back the European titles, and I don't disagree with that. I wouldn't be. I would be okay with it, but I don't know.
Okay, here's what I want. I want if a European wrestler wins the US title, I want it to become the European Championship just until a US guy wins it back. Like, tell me that would not be so
That would
funny.
be kind of fire. Like if just somebody from the European countries win it, and it just all of a sudden it's the European title. Like they changed the phrase plate of the
Yeah,
whatever.
like instead of the side plates changing, you change the face plate and then you have the little name plate at the bottom. Like, tell me that would not be awesome. And they could do it with like they could make one for like Canada and they could make one for Mexico. And like if Grayson Waller wins it, they could have like an Austin one.
Australia
Like,
one.
yeah. And then they could have a Japanese one if they ever decide to book Nakamura again. Like there are plenty of options.
Yeah,
Plenty of options.
that would be
And they could have a
so
Nigerian
stupid.
one
For
just for Omos.
that would be
Mhm.
so funny. Oh, and Kofi.
Oh, I
No,
thought he was
he's
from Ghana.
Guyanese,
Ghana.
Ghana.
Yeah, Ghana.
So, but see, we have to have maybe African, maybe
No,
a
Kofi's would
continent.
be Jamaican. Don't you remember?
He don't do that no more. He don't do that no more.
do that more.
He don't do that no more.
Yeah. It's the Jamaican sensation. Anytime
No.
I think about Kofi Kingston being Jamaican, I think about that one promo where like the New Day got in the time machine and he comes out doing the Jamaican stuff. Peak content. God, I miss the New Day. But
I miss New Day so bad. But up next is your boyfriend, Angel and Bertel versus Apollo.
if
And
only he was my boyfriend.
only. But
To
this
be fair, if there is anybody on main roster programming right now that it wins the most likely to be a gay twink award, it would be Barto. So,
a mess.
am I
But
wrong?
I will plead the fifth on this. Because I don't want that man to think I think about his sexuality that
He's
way.
hot. I'm,
I
I'm not.
mean,
I'm not saying that he is or isn't. I don't know. I don't know the guy. I'm just saying he's a hot guy, and I like hot guys. Um,
but this match was good. This actually was a really good match. It was a solid match. They went, and I was like, oh,
mhm.
okay. Um,
I enjoyed
it.
it.
I really did. I didn't think that I was going to enjoy it as much, but I did. Everybody got to have time to show off their abilities and what they were, were really capable of, and it was really good. And I definitely think this is not over between these two groups. They're going to fight again, which is fine. Let the
Mhm.
feud begin. I love a good feud, a good build up, and let it work.
Give me something in the tag division, dear
Absolutely,
Lord.
absolutely. Um, it's really good, but Angel and Berto ended up winning. Um,
Thankfully.
they needed
Can't
more wins.
can't remember the last time I said that sentence.
Speaking of who needed more wins and somebody who needed wins, we had Andrade versus Carmelo Hayes. And oh wait, before I jumped too far because we did have the Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes face off, and it was all right, whatever. The American Cody Rhodes was like, "I love you, Kevin, but I'm gonna beat you on Saturday." So it is what it is.
Okay. Can I just I know the match happened, right? I just want to go ahead and get something out, right? This storyline has given me the ick with Cody Rhodes a little bit. And like because this whole thing is like, "Oh, you're my best friend. You deserve this title opportunity, Kevin, but I'm going to beat you." Right? Like that whole idea of that is just like that doesn't really you don't seem like a good friend right now, right? Because to me it's like, okay, so let's say you do win, right? You just set up your friend for humiliation on a global scale because he lost a world title opportunity. Granted, the match was great, but like on the other side of that, let's say Kevin beats you, then you're the idiot who let your best friend beat you for a world championship in a match that you called out. Like this did not help Cody at all. Oh god.
um, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm.
Look, I talked about all my rants about this feud on the recap show of Bash in Berlin. So you should go check that out. It'll be right there. Bing. So yeah,
No, this
other
side.
side.
This side.
Yeah, that
Yep.
side. Yeah,
Yeah.
bing.
Yep. Mhm.
So go check that out on our recap, and then you will hear all of my thoughts about this feud and that match and everything else that happened this weekend. But we do go into Andrade and Carmelo. They're meeting for their fourth match in their feud. And you know what? I'm not even mad at this feud either. I'm not sick of it. 2 point. I'm almost there. I'm almost
All
there.
of their matches have been great though.
They
Like
have been
that's
really good.
but it's because you're pairing one of the most talented people on the roster with
Mm-hmm.
one of the most charismatic men I have ever seen in my
Mm-hmm.
life that can
Mm-hmm.
make anything work. Not to mention he's also really good in the ring. So like
Really, really good. And
like
he's hot.
sure, I'll give you that one. You give me Berto, I'll give you
I'll
Carmelo.
give
Or,
you that one.
yeah, yeah, there you go. But like they're just gonna keep having good matches because they're both really talented. I want this best of five to end at the next pay per view at Bad Blood,
Oh, Bad
right?
Blood. That'll be great.
With the winner getting a U.S. championship match
Oh, that would be
because
awesome.
because it
Honestly.
makes the feud have a point.
Right.
And it like accelerates things and it gives LA Knight something to do. Probably beat Carmelo, but like, hey, I'm not mad at it.
I think Carmelo is did some. I think Carmelo and Andrade have done something with their feud that made it interesting to watch and make me want to see them fight again.
Mhm.
And so I do agree with you. That would be lovely to have them ended at Bad Blood, have it up for number one contendership for the U.S. title. That would be great. And like I said, make the feud mean something instead
Mhm.
of just them fighting just to fight. But these two are so talented, and so like you said, both of them make each other look really, really good in the ring. And I think it just pushes them both to be better. And so it was just a really good match, very solid match with them. Hayes ended up winning, which tied it 2-2 in their thing. So we'll see
Mhm.
what happens next. I just thought it was good. Carmelo's gonna have another after party for his win. Pew, pew, pew. um, I liked it. I liked it. I thought it was
Mhm.
really, really good. And then we had Nia Jax versus Mia Yim.
Can I just? I know SmackDown is your thing. I know SmackDown is your show.
Oh, trust me, I will be interrupting you in Raw, so go right
Valid,
ahead.
valid. This is why I love Mia Yim. This entire match, I refuse to call her Michin. Her name is Mia Yim. That is what I will call her to the end of time. Okay. Um, Mia Yim is one of, if not the, honestly, most talented women on this roster. Right? She is incredible in the ring. I have never seen her have a bad match ever. And I have been following her since like 2014 when she started in TNA as Jade, right? She has been incredible her entire career. Seeing this match with Naya, right, which was a fucking car crash from start to finish with
Mhm.
logical interference,
Mhm.
right? That I was just sitting there, I was like, why is this not on the card in Berlin? You could bump. Honestly, hot take, you could have bumped either world title match from that card, and I would have rather have had this on the card. And I
Mhm.
know people are going to be like, oh, it's the world title. Yeah, this is the Women's World Championship. This is the WWE Women's Championship. This is the grand prize for the women of SmackDown. And we
Yep.
are relegating it to the SmackDown before when we're like, I'm tired of the argument that the world titles matter more than the women's championships because they don't.
Right
Right.
on.
Um, and seeing this match, I loved every minute of it. I think this has fully convinced me that Nia Jax is great now. I don't have any problems with Nia anymore.
Good.
And to be fair, I haven't had any problems with her since she came back, but I
Mhm.
have been like a little wary still. You never
Mhm.
know. But I think whatever training she did with Charlotte while she was gone, I think it really helped her. I think she came back, and I think she is honestly insanely underrated, even if she is the
Mhm.
women's champ. Um, and dear God, that Annihilator at the
Ugh.
end. Oh,
Oh, she's a star. I will say she is a star. She has come back better than ever. When first of all, we we talk about how good Nia is and amazing. We hadn't even said Bailey returned, made her return back to
but
help.
it was such like the B part of this matchup to me,
It
and I love
was.
Bailey.
That's the
I
crazy
literally.
part of it. Love Bailey, but it wasn't the star of this match, which is good because it shouldn't be, because this match should have been about Nia and Mia. And so I was very happy about that. But Bailey did make a return, and she to because Tiffany Stratton was out there, of course, to be with her girl Nia and help her out. Um and but Bailey came out to get Tiffany away, but then Nia put Mia through a table with the Samoan drop and then crushed her in a trash can with the Annihilator.
I
Like,
don't know what it is, but that move, that might have been the missing piece for Nia Jax, honestly, because I remember back in the day, she used to use that leg drop as a finisher, and like it
hmm
looked good, but it was a leg drop, you know. And like when she just uses Samoan drop, it was kind of whatever. Like she never really had a move
a
that I
move,
was
right?
like that was hers, right? And granted, I know she lifted this straight off of Yokozuna. I am aware. I
Yes.
don't care because I buy it. This makes
hmm
sense to me.
It
Naya
makes
is a
sense for
big,
her.
yeah, Naya's a bigger girl, right?
Yes.
But dear Lord, when she goes up to that second rope, I believe it. It
And
makes sense.
I mean, let's be honest. If somebody who was Naya's size, or look, I'm probably bigger than Naya, but if I was to jump off of anything and land on somebody's chest, that's believable. Like, that person ain't moving for a minute. That's gonna give me at least a 3 count. And the way she does it, and when she does it and she folds her arms, like, yep, it's just so good. It's
Well, and I mean, it's not only just a good move that makes sense. She's been doing it in creative ways that have made that move look cooler. The one she hit to win Queen of the Ring on Lyra Valkyria.
mm-hmm.
Oh my God. The one she hit on Mia Yim
Yep,
on SmackDown in the trash
a
can,
trash can.
right?
It's
I love
good.
her. I am now a Nia Jax fan, and like you tell me, I would have said that sentence 2 years ago. I mean, honestly, um, this was one of my favorite matches we have had in a long time on
Mm-hmm.
programming, pay per view or not. I think this was honestly, this might have been a top 5 match of the year for me so far. I loved
Ooh.
every second of this. Um, give Mia Yim more TV time. Give
It
me a
was good.
women's mid card belt, please, dear Lord. She
I
would be
need the
a
one.
fantastic champion for that.
Absolutely. Good match all around. Good show all around. Overall, I really enjoyed SmackDown. It was one of the better ones that, like I said, these past couple weeks, SmackDown has been getting better and better. Because before a month ago, I was like, ugh, please. But this week, these last few weeks, much better. So I hope they stay on that trajectory.
Best
But
SmackDown we've had in several months. I
that
agree.
is SmackDown for you, though.
That was SmackDown, but we did have a nice, lovely weekend of wrestling content as well. Started with Bash in Berlin. We already discussed that on the channel, but just a friendly reminder, we do have new women's tag champs,
We
and it's the
do.
old women's tag champs.
They are.
Yay! Um, but to a show we haven't talked about, No Mercy, NXT's No Mercy was this Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Um, not a ton of title changes. Only one title change on the whole show, actually. Uh, that being Fraxium, Nathan Frazier, and Axiom. That's a great tag name. You should use it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we're taking the belts off of Chase U like less than a month after Chase U won the belts from Fraxium. But there was a point, and I'm okay with that. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and as you may or may not know, I am a Fraxium Stan account,
I
so I
I
will.
do know that.
You know that. The people at home now you know that. Um, I love both of these guys, so them having gold, I am not mad. I am sad. I continue to be sad. Um, but after the match, you get the heel turn for Rich Holland.
Which I
I
saw it
don't.
was coming.
I don't know how I feel. I,
I knew
I
it was coming.
I've kind of been losing interest in Chase U here lately. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
gonna lie. Um, I like everyone involved except for Rich Holland. I like everyone involved, but I just don't care for Rich Holland. I never really have. I feel bad for him about how people talk about him after the Big E thing. Um, because I mean, yeah, obviously it wasn't a good look, but I don't feel like we need to be like labeling the dude for life. Like we don't talk about D'Lo Brown that way.
All right.
So I hope he's able to shake that at some point in his career. But I just still don't buy him yet, and I hope his heel turn makes me buy him as a like top level competitor on NXT.
I was see, I like the Ridge Holland story. I like how they have it had it where he was with Chase U and that underlining demon was following him around, and sometimes he'll black out and sometimes, he'll come to his senses or stop himself. I was liking that, and I was waiting for the moment when he was just going to lose it and just completely um just engulf himself in the demons that he has. And I was like, when is it gonna happen? I'm ready for it to happen. And it never happened. And I was like, oh, come on, come on. And then I lost interest. Not even gonna lie, I lost interest in that whole
Mm-hmm.
story. So when I found out that he did turn and finally, accepted the demons within and turned on Chase U, I was like, finally, yes. I'm excited to see what happens. I thought, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I thought this, but I thought he would turn and then Thea, Taya, which was
Thea.
her name? Thea. I thought she was going to be the one to calm him down and then change, like go heal with him.
Mm-hmm.
But that could still happen.
I
But
I fully thought Riley Osborne was gonna go heel here. Like,
oh,
and again, big fan of Riley Osborne. I think he's great in the ring. But this whole time, it's been Riley Osborne's been the guy saying you can't trust Ridge Holland,
mm-hmm.
and time again he's been proven wrong. And it just seemed like Riley was gonna be the one to turn heel here, and then it just didn't happen. So interesting stuff there. Also, forgot to mention this earlier. Riley Osborne competed in Ultimate X recently, the first in TNA, the first WWE wrestler to compete in an Ultimate X match, which is crazy. Uh, which is where Zach Wentz won the X Division title. If you saw that on No Mercy, he won. That was the match Wentz won that belt in. Um, And if you don't know what Ultimate X is, I highly recommend you look into it because that match
Hmm.
slaps. Um, but yeah, so like Riley Osborne's getting some good shine over in NXT. Sorry, over in TNA. But speaking of TNA, people coming to NXT, Joe Hendry losing the main event to Ethan Page after major shenanigans. I'm not even
Hmm.
gonna lie.
Hmm.
Don't expect Joe Hendry to be leaving NXT anytime soon, people. All I gotta say about that. Um, but the big moment of the evening, we saw Roxanne Perez defend her retain her women's championship over I forget her name. I'm
Jada
forgetting
Parker.
Jada Parker. Thank you. I could not. I was literally thinking of oh yeah, Kalani Jordan beat Wendy too, but I'm like that's not the match we're talking about, Brooke. Um, but Jada Parker, a very good match with Roxanne here.
Yes.
But then after the match, she's finally here. We get the debut of Julia that we have been waiting ages for. It came out that she was coming to the Fed ages ago. Then she decided, oh, I'm going to go help Marigold get off the ground. And now she's done with that. So I think she's finally here. We're finally going to get this match with Roxanne that I've been waiting for ages. They're both great. Um, Lana, I know you have no idea who Julia is unless you've heard the rumors about her signing. But trust me, from the videos I've seen and the clips I've seen, this is a great pickup.
I mean, I saw her on. I actually watched No Mercy, so I did see when she debuted.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know who she is, but Roxanne seemed to be a little shaken up by seeing her. So I'm like, okay, cool. We'll
She's
see what
great.
happens.
Uh, and I'm really excited to see where it goes. But that is the end of our NXT and our Bash in Berlin quick little touch notes there. Uh, Time to talk about Raw, but specifically, we had a debut on Raw this week. The debut of one Joe Tessitore joining
Mm-hmm.
the commentary team with Wade Barrett. Thank God Wade Barrett is still on commentary. Um,
Mm-hmm.
how did you feel? Because I want to see where everyone's at.
I felt like Joe Tessitore gave a decent debut. It was a decent debut. I don't want to judge him too quickly. It's his first week.
Mm-hmm.
He needs to get into a groove. I love giving people the benefit of the doubt, giving them a chance to settle in and do their thing. I think having Wade there with him helped
Oh yeah.
because Wade is very much like, okay, he's a heel commentator, a color commentator, but he also knows the business and he knows wrestling, and so he knows how to talk about stuff that doesn't seem very like robotic. And I feel like Joe Tessitore is like trying to get into his groove.
Mhm. For me, I was really impressed with his debut. I don't think he was perfect. Obviously not. I
No.
think there's definitely some settling in you have to get used to.
Mhm.
One thing I will say though, I think his emotion was on point. I think that was
Mhm.
great. Thing that was bothering me, he is the play-by-play guy, and not knowing
Mhm.
the names of some moves,
Yes. Yes.
it's gonna
Yeah.
rub me a little bit the wrong way. But specifically during like, the CM Punk Drew McIntyre segment, I loved that. Also, one of my favorite calls of the year, which is, and I quote, "It's Drew McIntyre in a hoodie," which I know, I know that it was important, but adding in a hoodie at the end for some reason, it just set me a little bit. I'm sorry, I laughed so hard when that happened. Um, but Wade Barrett was great on commentary as usual. Honestly, I think Wade might be the best commentator in the company right now, low key. Um, but yeah, I think Joe had a pretty good debut. I hope he keeps getting better. I think he will as he settles into the role. And yeah, that's where I'm at with it.
Yeah. He just has to settle, and he'll
Mhm.
get better. He'll get better.
Speaking of settling, I have to settle with covering Raw this week.
Mhm.
So Raw, I didn't like this episode that much. I'm going to be honest. I was kind of underwhelmed. And I think a lot of that comes with the fact that we are focusing on storylines that I do not care about.
That is your
Um,
fault because I enjoyed Raw thoroughly.
I'm happy you did. But we're continuing the Terror Twins, still a terrible name. With feuding with Dom and Liv stuff. I couldn't be bothered with this. I'll be honest. I liked the part where Liv got Rhea like tangled in the ropes and beat the crap out of her leg. That was great. I thought that was awesome, right? But can we have Dom and Liv stop running from everyone? Dom, I get, okay? It is Dom's entire thing, right? Has been for almost 2 years now. But Liv doesn't run from people. That has been her thing, right? Is even if she's going to get her butt kicked, right? She's not a coward, right? She never has been. And even when she was a heel, she would get her butt kicked by everybody, but she didn't care, right? This just feels so against the Liv Morgan that I came to know and love. I still love her. She is still my fave. I love her to death. I just pray to God she beats Rhea at the end of this feud. She has to. Because if she doesn't, then what was the point of any of this? That is where I'm at with that.
She's not gonna win at the end.
She's going to. She's
No.
going to win this part. I don't think she's going to win at Mania when they're going to fight again. I think she's going to win at Bad Blood, which is what I need.
Possibly. She
I
probably
need a
win.
decisive Liv Morgan win to continue on to a Rhea Ripley win in the inevitable WrestleMania match. That's what I want. Or Rhea can win now, Liv can turn face again. Rhea can go back to being a heel, which is where she belongs, and then Liv can beat her at WrestleMania, which is what should have happened in the first place. But I am heated. I shall stop being heated now. We then move on to Alpha Academy taking on American Made. We do have, it is a mixed tag, so you're going to have the Creeds and Ivy Nile, aka the Diamond Mine, fighting, your three members of Alpha Academy here. A good win here for American Made. You get the submission win with Ivy locking in the Dragon Sleeper on Maxine. Good stuff here. But after the match, we have to deal with more of American Made versus the Wyatt Six. And I will continue to be sick of this. I see no point, and that is where I'm at. I thought the feud ended last week. I thought it made sense where it ended. Uncle Howdy gets the win on Chad Gable. Both groups can move on. I just don't get it. I don't see why we have to keep this going. I think they deserve better than this. Both of these factions deserve better than this. And I'm bored. I'm so bored with it. I cannot be bothered. How do you feel about it? I'm just genuinely curious.
I'm neutral about it. Honestly, about this feud. I can go either way. I can live with it or without it. I don't really. It's not giving what I wanted to give. I want the Wyatt Six to have a better deal. I need them to have a better feud. And this feud is fine. It was fine for what it was, but I feel like a better feud needs to be had. I do agree with you. I do think they need to move on, but I feel like they're not doing the Wyatt Six the justice that it needs to be done. If they wanted, they made this big hype and deal about it. They should be something that is feared and all this other stuff. Let's get that. Why are we not getting that? It should be something where they're just not sticking with one person. Like anybody could get it. You know what I mean? It feel like the Wyatt Six should be like everybody should be on notice because everybody can get it, and not just sticking with one group of people to terrorize every week.
Yeah. I agree with you. I just miss. I want these two groups to move on from each other. Hasn't happened yet. I hope it happens soon, but I'm bored with it. So then we get Zelina Vega versus Shayna Baszler. Zelina coming back after cost Shayna and Zoe match against Damage Control last week. But Shayna gets hers back, gets a win on Zelina here with a big knee. Cool stuff there. We then get Lyra Valkyria coming down to try to make a save. Doesn't really pan out. And then apparently there was a little promo after where Valkyria said they have a plan next week in Raw. Raw's in Canada. Specifically, it's in Calgary. We know who it's going to be. Like, if it's not Natalya, I would be stunned. If it's not Natalya, I will eat my cup mug. If it's not Natalya. Don't hold me to that, internet, but it's gonna be Natalya. Like, right?
Or Trish.
If it's Trish Stratus, who also got her profile moved to the alumni section today, I would be stunned. But sure. Uh, CM Punk Drew McIntyre promo. Punk was like, "Yeah, I moved on. I beat Drew. Cool. I want to fight Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship." And then Drew McIntyre said, "Oh, you beat me, did you?" Conk. And then uh,
Drew in a hoodie. Like
Drew
we
in a
didn't know
hoodie.
it.
Drew
Like
McIntyre in a hoodie.
we didn't know it was Drew McIntyre the whole time. Okay.
But you also get the bracelet has been broken. I repeat, the bracelet has been broken.
Broke
Uh,
and
uh,
shoved down his throat.
and shoved down his throat too. Also, and
Mm-hmm.
this is where I thought Joe Tessitore did a really good job when Drew started like shoving the beads of the bracelet down his throat. That was like a very good emotive moment from him
Mm-hmm.
for me. I was here for that. Um, Also, according to Punk on Instagram, it was a fake bracelet. He does still have the real one, but not in storyline. So, just for the record, because the fan did actually give him that bracelet. So there's
Mm-hmm.
that. Um, Hell in a Cell at Bad Blood. It's gonna be great.
It's gonna work, and I
It's
hope
gonna
to
be
be in the
great.
building to watch it.
Are you going to Atlanta?
That's what I'm hoping for.
Oh, I'm hoping for you for that because that's gonna be a good show. Um, we then get one of the two triple threats for the Intercontinental Championship tournament to challenge Braun Breaker. Ilya Dragunov getting a win over Dominic Mysterio and Dragon Lee here.
Mm-hmm.
The correct choice,
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
but I would not have minded if this was Dragon Lee. I think
Me
he could have been a
either.
really good, cool surprise. But I love Ilya, so I'm not mad.
Work.
Um, Carlito tries to interfere. Damian Priest does his thing and costs Dom the match. Uh, I want this to end. I know it's not gonna, and I know they just turned, but I'm already sick of this Judgment Day Damian Priest Rhea Ripley mess. I've been over it. Um, and I know that's just me, and I know I am one, but I hate how Priest is making 4 wrestlers look like absolute crap. That's what
Mm-hmm.
bothers me.
I
If
mean,
this feud was a little bit more even, I would not care.
mm-hmm.
But Carlito especially, because Carlito's been relatively well protected since joining Judgment Day. Like he's taken a few losses here and there, but like actually in ring, he's being treated like a credible threat. And now he's being punked out by Damian Priest, and I don't like that.
We did have some because after Rhea did get hurt with the
Mm-hmm.
live and the attack on the knee and blah blah blah, they go in the back and um Adam Damien goes to Adam for a match against Finn, and Finn says he needs this match to be a tag team match. That's the only way he's gonna fight Damien if it's a tag team match. And Damien is like, I don't know who I'm going to get as a partner because I don't have any friends here, and I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And so Rhea tells him to go tell Adam Pierce that this match is gonna happen. I got somebody in mind. I think this is my
Mm-hmm.
favorite promos of the night with them two, with seeing them. I know you don't like it. I love it.
It's not that I don't like it, like them, right? Because I like both of them. I have no problems with either of them as in-ring performers, as promo. Honestly, they're really good, both of them. It's giving me a situation where like Rhea and Liv going back and
Mm-hmm.
forth, which they pretty much have been, makes sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
They have been portrayed relatively equally here lately. I'm here for that. Damian Priest should not be able to punk out 4 guys at the same time when one of those guys is Finn Balor.
I agree with that.
I can't with it, and it's bothering me at this point. I am legitimately bothered by how much Finn Balor specifically, but also the rest of Judgment Day are getting buried by this.
I agree with
Um,
that.
so
But
if they let Damien get his butt kicked by Finn Balor once or twice, I'd be down. I'd be
mm-hmm.
fine. But he's
Mm-hmm.
just been portrayed way too strong here to the point where I don't believe that he is struggling with the Judgment Day anymore.
Mm.
Because I think he's taken one like beatdown in this entire feud. Like I need more of that. I need to see
Yeah.
him and Rhea struggling against the numbers game here because it hasn't happened rarely. It
Right.
hasn't happened that much.
Agreed.
Um,
But they do. She does say she should find somebody, get somebody in mind.
mhm.
He immediately knows who she's talking about, And he was like, I'll tell him, tell me what he says. They go back. He comes back and she's just cheesing, sitting there smiling. He's like, I see you cheesing. What did he say? Did he say yes? And she was like, no. He's like, what? So what did he say? Yeet.
Yeet.
And I was like, period. And he was like, all right. Well, I'm gonna go
Give
talk
Jey
to him then.
Uso something to do.
And I
Yeah,
mean,
I'm excited
I
for it.
I'm here for the whole Jaya of it all
Mhm.
and what happens and all that stuff with this storyline or whatever. But we also, because I just want to talk about the backstage just because I'm just very much a backstage
Sure,
girly in this
sure,
episode.
sure. Go ahead, go ahead.
Um, we do see a confrontation between Jey Uso and Braun Breaker,
Hmm.
who decides to come up and be like, "You might wanna for yourself because your family don't beat my family. It ain't never happening. Ain't go happen. Uh, so I'm gonna give you an opportunity to back up out of this match for your own personal safety." And Jay was like, "Who?" He said, "Oh," and then he was like, "And go keep chasing after Dominic Mysterio's sloppy seconds." And so he was just like, "Oh, don't worry about mommy. I got mommy. But what you just did was make me really want to take this belt, win this tournament, take this belt, and beat your ass in the process."
Okay, hot
He
take.
called him a rookie.
He's not winning the
Which
match.
no, who's not winning the match? Oh, Jay.
Jay, no, I don't even think he's winning the tournament. I don't think he's winning the tournament.
I think he's winning
Honestly,
the tournament.
I don't think he's winning the tournament. I would like to think he is
I,
winning the
I
tournament.
think
I
he's
would
winning the
like
tournament.
for him to win the tournament. Here is the problem: if you have Jey Uso win this tournament, he has to lose to Braun Breaker,
No, we
and I
don't.
don't. He's not winning the IC title just soon after Braun won it. It ain't happening.
Here's the
And I
thing.
think
I think Braun Breaker is a transitional. He's a. I think he is very much a transitional champion.
I
I don't
wouldn't
think
say
he's
that
going to be
one.
one of those people that hold the belt for long. I don't think he's going to hold that belt for that long. I think this IC title for a minute is going to go back and not back and forth, but it's going to
Um,
get passed around a little bit more so than it did when Gunther had it because it was he had it for so long. I don't think they're going to have it placed in one person for that
I
long.
think someone else is winning this tournament. We'll talk about it when we get to it later. But we then get Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair at ringside watching Damage Control, aka the Sky Pirates, fight Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. Winner of that match would become the new number one contenders for the women's tag titles. Um, Kind of a surprising result here, at least to me, where the Unholy Union win this match and now they're the number one contenders for the belts they just lost. Um, Interesting stuff with Sane goes to the outside and Jade Cargill lays out Kyrie, which that was real interesting. I don't know about this anymore. I didn't feel like the Jade we've seen on programming before, so we'll see where this goes. But I thought it was interesting. But regardless, Unholy Union are your new number one contenders. We're probably going to get a triple threat between these three teams. I have seen way too many triple threats with the women's tag belts lately, but at least they're being defended on TV. So I'm here for that. Um, so after that, we then get Gunther coming out, cutting a really good promo, as usual, um, before he gets interrupted by Sami Zayn. And the second this happened, I cheered. This was my favorite part of Raw this week because give me Sami Zayn and Gunther again, please. Please, pretty please. We deserve this. This is the type of thing that I think okay, no, I don't want to say we deserve this. This is something that the fans getting. We're all happy about it. There's only one person I have seen angry about this match happening, and we'll talk about him later. So I'm excited for that. Lorna, I know you're a fan of both these guys, so I'm assuming you're excited too. Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Great stuff. Yeah, great stuff here. I'm really excited. Um, So earlier in the night, we had Braun Strowman come backstage. Bronson Reed is out with COVID at the moment. Uh, so they need to replace him in this triple threat. And Braun Strowman comes up. He's got a whole thing of like skeleton on. And he's like, the doctor said, if I think I can go, I can go. I can go. So Braun Strowman replaces Bronson Reed here. Uh, knocks off Ludwig Kaiser and Sheamus to advance in this tournament. This is the man that's winning this tournament. And I know. Okay. Hear me out. Hear me out. Okay. I think what's going to happen, okay? I think Braun Strowman's going to win this match, okay? Then I think Bronson Reed is going to come back off of his COVID stuff, and I think we're going to get a triple threat between Bronson Reed, Braun Strowman, and Braun Breaker. Too many Brauns, but I think we're going to get all three of these guys, and I think it's going to be the definition of big guys slapping meat, as Big E likes to say. Um, a triple threat hoss fight for the ages, and it allows the Bronson Reed Braun Strowman feud to keep going on, and it gives Braun Breaker a match for the IC title where he can pin Braun Strowman and not look weak at all. He keeps the belt. We still get these two feuding. Like everybody wins. I don't see a reason for that not to happen that way.
Boo. Boo, tomato, tomato, tomato. I don't need the brawn matched. Boo. Ugh. Ugh. I am
You're only
over.
booing because you get it, because you see the vision.
I boo because I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it.
You
I
tell me
want.
you don't want that match? I would love
I
that.
don't want that match. I don't want Braun Breaker doing. I don't like Braun Breaker. I'm not a fan. I don't buy it. I
That's
don't
fair.
like him. I just don't. And I want him to lose his belt so he could just go fade in the background somewhere. Just go have these big after he lose the belt, then we can have that whole Braun fight. I don't care. They can do whatever they want after he lose the belt. But he needs to lose this belt because I don't want him. Ugh, I don't. I
Lana,
don't.
unfortunately, he's too good to lose that belt anytime soon.
Boo.
You can boo me all you want.
Boo.
Regardless, personally though, I wanted Ludwig Kaiser to win this match, but that's just
Me
me.
too. I would have
Yeah,
loved that.
I mean, I would have loved Sheamus winning this too. I honestly, I didn't mind him win this match. Um, I thought there were some other interesting options to replace Bronson in this match than Braun Strowman, especially since Braun Strowman literally got tsunamied on top of a car last week. But we don't talk about that enough. We didn't talk about that more. But regardless, Braun Strowman wins. So now next week we got a fatal four-way between Jey Uso, Ilya Dragunov, and Pete Dunne. I think it's between Braun and Jay here. I think it's gonna be Braun. I think it makes more sense to me. Um, I just don't want to have Jay lose to Braun Breaker. And as much as I know you want Jay to beat Braun Breaker and win this belt, we know if he fights him, he's probably not winning. As much as I hate to say it, so we'll see where it goes. We'll see where it goes. I get it. I get it. I agree. But we'll see where it goes. Uh, so thing at the main event with Damian Priest and Yeet Jey Uso, taking on your world tag champs. Friendly reminder, they are indeed still your world tag champs, Finn Balor and JD McDonough. Um, are they still the tag champs? They ain't defended them.
Ain't defended nothing. Ain't
They ain't
never
defended
defended
crap.
nothing.
They
But
ain't
they
defended.
are it. They still got them.
Mm-hmm. Uh, you get a Liv Morgan spot where she crotches Jey Uso on the top rope. We need to see that spot more. I like it when guys get crotched on the top rope. We don't do it enough. No, because it's a believable way for a match to like time to shift. It makes sense. Um, Priest and Uso win. Cool. Let Damian Priest take a pin, you cowards. Um, like I don't mind Priest and Jay winning. I wouldn't mind at all if Priest had been portrayed anywhere remotely weak in this feud at all, because you're making Finn and JD look like crap. They are still the tag champs. If they didn't have the belts, I would not give a damn, but you're making these belts look bad. And you're also making Finn Balor, a former world champion, multiple time NXT champion, Triple Crown, Grand Slam, you're making him look bad. and I don't. Raw pissed me off this week. That's my recap. Um,
Mm, I enjoyed Raw, but I understand your discomfort for Raw and your. I get what you mean, and I agree. They do need to stop making Finn Balor and JD McDonough in this while they hold the belts. They need to stop making them look like chumps.
mhm.
Agreed, agreed, agreed. But
Speaking of
next,
chumps,
speaking of chumps, there's a big time chump.
mhm.
And
So
and look, I actually have this from last time.
mhm. Valley is on Twitter. Can we just keep this?
We'll
This needs
just
to be a
keep this
recurring segment.
because apparently he just continues to go on Twitter and say stupid
Um,
stuff.
alongside this today, he also posted a deepfake video of Kamala Harris driving drunk, which was a thing that happened today on Val Venus' Twitter. But Val Venus on Twitter, uh, we might need to change this to Val Venus being stupid on Twitter, because this implies that it's like a fun segment. No, we just like calling Val Venus out for being a dumb idiot. So this week, after the aforementioned Gunther versus Sami Zayn match for the World Heavyweight Championship was announced, in a quote tweet from our lovely folks over at Wrestle Ops, big fan, Val Venus says, and I quote, both of these guys would have been fighting over who would carry my bags in the Attitude Era. Hashtag facts matter. Would we like to go through some facts, Mr. Venus? Because I can give you plenty of them. Um, First off, both of these men have accomplished the same one thing that you accomplished during your time in the WWE. All three of you are former Intercontinental Champions. I will give you that. Now,
Mm-hmm.
Gunther is the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time with one reign. Sami Zayn is a four-time Intercontinental Champion, all of his reigns being better than your singular one. Secondly, both of these guys would be able to wrestle circles around you in your prime on their worst day. You could not, to borrow a quote from CM Punk, you could not take them bowling. Okay? Um, I have never seen a level of delusion this high. I think like Miss Delicious needs to like check herself and make sure she hasn't been surpassed, because this is true delusion. Like, you're calling yourself, you're saying these two would have begged to carry your bags when you were talking about arguably the two best in-ring performers in the company, arguably.
You, sir, are known. Your whole gimmick was you being an ex porn star. That was your entire gimmick. And you want to talk about how Sami Zayn and Gunther would be begging to carry your bag. Sir, stop drinking the delusional Kool-Aid that you've been drinking. Like, put it down. Don't smoke nothing else because you have lost your mind. In your prime, Gunther would have taken you down. Like, down. In your prime, Sami Zayn would have taken you down. Period. You're not that great. You were never that great. You were good enough to be on a to be in a mid card at best. You have never been heavyweight champion status. Like, you have never been world champion status. At least Sami Zayn made it to a main event match to get the heavyweight championship. Gunther is the world champion. You have never even been there. Like, you don't even go here, and you
You don't even
talking.
go here.
You don't
I,
even go here.
I want it documented, okay? Val Venus was a two-time Intercontinental Champion, okay? The first of those reigns was 54 days. Second of those reigns was 54 days. The first of those reigns was less than a month. So, sir, in a world where you are talking to and about the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time, and one of the single best modern day Intercontinental Champions with a 4 championship reign career, who the hell do you think you are? Because to borrow a quote from Cody Rhodes when he was speaking about Disco Inferno, another delusional little man, I would like to remind you that you are not a draw. You have never drawn a single dollar. No
Nope.
one has ever paid money to go see Val Venus wrestle at a show. And if they did, it's because they bought into a gimmick that was given to you.
Right.
Okay? Um, I wish Yamaguchi-san wouldn't have missed when he tried to choppy your pee in the 90s. Like, honestly, because
Honestly.
maybe that would have taken away some of the fucking audacity. Um, Not mindful, not demure.
Not demure at all. Not very mindful. Not very demure. Very uncouth of you, Val Venus. You're stupid. And if we have to keep this banner up because I just feel like every week or two you're going to say something stupid on Twitter, and it's going to be our thing to be like, now to our next segment. Val Venus being stupid on Twitter
Twitter.
again.
Recurring segment, Val Venus being stupid on Twitter. I'm down.
I'm
Because
here for it.
we can get something new every week. And as a friendly reminder, if you would also like to support those who are pissed at Val Venus's idiocy, go ahead and head over to valvenus.com where you can support a lovely LGBTQ plus charity organization that has since claimed the name of Val Venus because this idiot let his trademark lapse. So thank you. Thank you.
Work. But is there anything else that that's it?
Yeah, that is it for what we have.
Yeah.
Um,
I like ending it off with Val Venus being stupid on Twitter. I like ending it.
I think it's a fun time. Um, as a friendly reminder, NXT as of recording was yesterday, so I hope you guys enjoyed that show. SmackDown is Friday, but I believe it's on USA.
It will be on
Am I right?
USA next
It's on
week.
USA
This week.
next week.
Yeah.
This week, yep. So, yay! I can't wait for that. I can't wait for Raw to be on
Everything is
Netflix
on
in
USA this week.
January.
This week,
Mhm.
every show is going to be on USA for the next 3 weeks. So
It's gonna be great. Um, but yeah,
I think
that was
that's
the show.
it. That was it. That's the show. We appreciate you all for joining us as we give you our weekly wrestling roundup. And we'll be back next week to do more, give you more, talk about it. Oh, wait, let me remove this off of the screen there. He doesn't need to be there.
Correct. He doesn't need to be
He
on
doesn't
Twitter
need to be there.
either.
Right. True. But we'll be back next week, like I said, to talk more wrestling and give you all of the news that happened this week in wrestling. Talk about SmackDown, talk about Raw, throw in a little bit of everything else. And we'll be here every week. And all the pay-per-views will be here. We're going to start doing some more content because we're going to add our contribution to our Patreon page. So we're going to have some exclusive content that will come out exclusively in our Patreon that we'll do here. So you might want to join Patreon for that. And go to our link tree, get all of our YouTube links for all of our other channels, hit the subscribe, hit the notification. We're trying to build up this channel, this network, and we appreciate you. So do that. Also, our audio podcast links are down there as well. We appreciate the audio listeners. We see you out there listening, and I appreciate you. So do that, and check out our audio podcast links as well, and get your cup merch. Period. At LanaG'sCreations.etsy.com. That link is also in the description below. You can get the cup mug or any of our cup merch. And on that note, we're gonna get out of here. So cheers, y'all.
Cheers.
Bye. Oh, not that fast. Bye.
We got to get a production bloop every now and then.
Every now and then. Bye, y'all.